what's coming up? Have you you've got a new release coming, hopefully?
Yeah, I have a song coming. What day is today? May 4th. I have a song coming on the 20th, and then I'm pretty much doing like a song every single month until September, pretty much. I have a song with Diplo that's going to be a full release, and I'm excited for that one. It's like a house record. Other than that, like I just have a bunch of music, and it's all like interesting and funny and quirky, I guess I would say. But the next one, I have a music video, and it's a bunch of bodybuilders, and it's called Piccolo. Unfortunately, I wanted to call it Dragon Ball Z, but my lawyer was like, "You're gonna get sued," so it's not a Dragon Ball Z. It's called Piccolo.
I can imagine how your team is like, just trying to keep you on the straight and narrow, right?
Yeah, I mean, for the
following
most part,
socials.
yeah, for the most part. I don't really do anything outrageous, but like sometimes it's like such like a stretch legally that you have to like tone back, and it's like, really, like you really have to do that. But that's just the way it is, you know.
I mean, I know you've spoken openly previously about, releasing under your own steam, really, the fact that you've worked so hard for a platform for yourself, for your music. You were so proactive at getting your music out there on the internet via SoundCloud, the blowing up in China, these insane things that have happened, but you've really kind of proactively worked for. Is it really important for you to kind of still have that control of everything overall as an independent artist?
I run my business like a label. Financially, sometimes it sucks because it's like I'm the one spending my own money. I definitely have full control majority of the time. Sometimes my manager is like, "Alex, like I know you're being stubborn right now, but you should realize that if you do more singles, you're going to increase the chance." Because I wanted to drop the album in June, but then I was just being stubborn. I just got off like a 12-hour flight type thing, like Alex being a little baby. And, I was like, "I want to drop it in June. I don't care. I want to drop it in June." And, that's pretty much as far as like decision making I have is like, I can literally do whatever I want. And it's unbelievable. It's super rewarding because sometimes when you're on a label, you get benched. It's like, let's say, like Drake is dropping, you fully get benched. And that's just the way it is. And I haven't dealt with that yet. And my business, like the way I set my business up is like very just, I release music and that's it, full stop. And I always will be dropping music. And that's kind of my goal, is to just like make music and release it. Because in the end of the day, it's like, it doesn't matter if it's like your favorite song, but like it might be someone's favorite song if it connects. And like the more you roll the dice, like the more you potentially might win. And also it's like, realistically, you making a hit is like 1 out of 100 songs, just keep rolling the dice, right? So like Lala and Edamame were like an outrageously big couple of songs, but I'm excited to try to do it again, and posting tons of content and making my own marketing plans is like really fun to experiment almost. So yeah, I'm blessed, honestly. I'm really, really excited for this album, and I'm going to be on TikTok a ton for the next like 7-9 months. And then ideally I'm going to take a break in Christmas. And
you got to really look after your health and well-being, haven't you, when you're making music and when you're out there on tour? What are your go-tos for kind of staying on a level?
Green juices, like immunity shots. I told my DJ this year, I was like, dude, like there's no way we can go around doing this year without like working out after shows, before shows. Like we have to like stay really healthy. I don't drink on tour. I honestly don't drink period much. So it's just, I studied kinesiology before my music took off, kind of thing. And I know a lot about the body, and I know like, especially I'm like super in tuned with my body, and I like know where my limits are. You can hover around your limit, but just don't break the bubble, because it's going to take so much longer to like pull back from breaking the bubble, but I do my diligence on staying healthy on tour. I stretch, I do yoga, I do, honestly, like I'm probably one of the healthiest touring artists of all time, I would say.
Good to hear you talking about it, because I think there still isn't enough talk about health and well-being for artists, and especially on tour, which is exceptionally grueling. Looking at the list of dates you've got, that is insane. Where are you most excited about heading to and playing?
Honestly, like right in July and August is gonna be sick. I'm doing all of Europe. Like, Europe is like my parents' heritage is a Swiss, Danish, Armenian, and like something about European culture that is just like so much more fascinating than American culture. Almost every single show in Europe goes like way harder. There's way more diehards, and it's great. But the shows that I'm looking forward to the most are Shambhala and Reading and Leeds, like no question. Shambhala is like a boutique festival for like electronic music in Nelson, British Columbia, which is about 7-hour drive away from Vancouver, Canada. I've never been, but all of my friends are like, look, it is the best festival you will ever step foot in, full stop. It's like in the forest. It's just like hippies. I like to deem myself as a hippie. I've done my fair share of acid. I think I'm like a spiritual person and like an emotionally like tapped in individual. So I'm just really excited to like expunge for like 3 days in the forest. I can't wait. And then Reading and Leeds is going to be, I'm on main stage, you know, like I'm kind of early in the day, but I don't really know what to expect, but I've heard it's crazy. So
Hopefully the new album's coming.
deal. It's dropping September 9th.
What can we expect?
Like stylistically, mathematics is like one of its own on the album, but yeah, I don't know, like my music kind of just like perpetuates like positivity, and it's like very movement based. It's very fun, upbeat. That's one thing I realized like recently, because I'm going through emotional crisis right now, but I was like listening to sad music like some Juice World and like some Lil Peep, and I was like, man, like, this music is genuinely really sad. Like the feeling that you get while listening to the songs are like they're sad, and you know, makes you more sad. And I'm like, it's interesting because my music, in my opinion, when I listen to it, I mean, I don't like love listening to my own music, but when I listen to my music, it's like, you know, moving, and it gets you jumping around, and it gets you happy and positive. I've had a lot of fans message me being like, yo, like your music is very like inspiring because it's so upbeat and fun and gets me out of a dark place. And I'm like, that's so interesting, because like that's kind of like where my thought process is when I make the music, is it's like, let's just have fun making it. And then it like kind of regurgitates itself to my fan base. And it's super heartwarming when people message me and they're like, yeah, like it's really fun and upbeat. And it's funny too, because like my song Help Herself, which is like arguably one of like the sadder songs that I have, or like an alternative rock song. And it's like so many people reached out that when I dropped the song, one, it's a really good song. Two, but like they were like, look, like this is getting through exactly, like it's helping me get through. Like, man, it's so interesting that like my music can like touch people like that, right? So I would like to say that the energy I put out in the world is positive, and the people that come to my shows and when I meet my fans, it's kind of just like meeting myself, because the energy you put out is what you receive, right? And I just put myself out there, and there's like no smoking screens, there's no bullshit. It's like it's just straight up myself, just having as much fun as I humanly can. When I do my meet and greets, it's like legit, like just chilling with my homies. And I do like a pizza party, and we just talk, and it's a Q&A, and it's super wholesome, and you know, I'm so happy that I'm able to be like a positive influence on a bunch of people.
Your outfits, your styling, you always seem to be very kind of authentic, very colorful personality, very colorful in your style. Is that show on the road going to be as colorful?
You know, unfortunately, it's like very difficult to turn a profit when you tour Europe, especially like when you have to fly. It's tough, but my shows are ridiculous. Um, I My shows are fun. It's like, and I take pride in them. I think they're genuinely really good. I think they're really like happy, you know, and very positive. I've been to a lot of shows that on stage, it's like almost like a negative, you know, like there's like they like yell at you, and it's not like positive yelling. It's like go crazy, ah. But I feel like my shows are like the type of shows where like if someone's, you know, like the crowd is like having an issue, we'll stop the show. I don't care. And it's like, you know, I incorporate a lot of the people in the crowd. I incorporate them into the show and the experience rather than just being like an artist that just plays their music. I incorporate the ability to bring fans up on stage and, you know, run the shot of doing things with me. And I think that in itself is more of an experience than just like listening to my music.
That's what I love about your music, that it's so relatable. I know that when I was listening to Mathematics and I was reading up on it, I was really impressed that you were like, right, you need to be fiscally responsible. Like the cost of living crisis in the UK right now is insane. And the young people seem to be like suffering the most, you know?
Yeah, UK is very expensive. It's not cheap to live there. Financially responsible is like, I don't know how else to put it. Smart. You know, I don't really spend my money that much. I mean, obviously I spend my money to market my music and it's like my business, but like I've always been able to differentiate between need and wants. And I think the needs in my life, oh no, I have more needs than I have wants, I think, I guess.
Now let's just finally, I know you need to go. I've been holding on to you for way too long, but let's just talk about Mathematics because I'm absolutely obsessed with it. Plus the video. You need to talk me through the video. You in a pool with an array of, surrounded by an array of women who are having a great time swimming around you.
Yeah, we were just, my videographer and I kind of do everything. And we're coming back from Palm Springs after shooting another music video. And I was like, yo, man, let's come up with music video ideas or just like shot ideas. And he was like, why don't we just do another music video with a ton of shot ideas? That's a good idea. And then we just like rinsed a ton of ideas. And that was it. That was Mathematics music video. I think we came up with like 100 different shot ideas that honestly are all banging. It's difficult to execute them sometimes, like financially. If you need this, you need that, it like starts ramping up really fast. And that music video was pretty cheap, but the song it's interesting. It's like I didn't know what to expect with that song. I didn't know how well it was going to do. It's not doing like amazingly well, but it is like being very well received on in the UK. I'm excited for the next songs because they're more like, you know, typical North American sounding esque songs. Like I don't know too many people that like listen to like Liquid and like UK garage out here. And but my DJ is like a super big fan. And we just like we go out to clubs in Vancouver and just listen to garage music. So I'm surprised that it's not more adapted in North America, but it's an unbelievable genre, to be honest. So